Hey folks, welcome to Money Me. My name is Pat Dees, and the stock of the day is INTU, with being up $63 today. $63. Okay folks, let's get into it. Stock of the day is INTU. As you guys may know, INTU is actually the company that makes TurboTax. I don't know how many of you guys use TurboTax out there. I've actually used TurboTax probably for 20 years. A lot on my personal side. I always would use an account on the business side, but I still use TurboTax to actually do my younger son's tax returns because it's a little bit more simplified. But INTU has come a long way, and today the stock was up. Close on Friday, November 19th, it had closed at $692.34. If you guys look at the screen here, you'll see I actually am using, in case you're wondering, the WEBULL desktop. I am on WEBULL. If you guys aren't, WEBULL is sort of like Charles Schwab, Ameritrade, Robinhood. It's a online brokerage. And in the description below, if you're interested in signing up for WEBULL, you can get different times. I know right now they're doing a promotion, 2 free stocks. And if you click on my referral link, they'll give me something. Sometimes a piece of crypto, a share, or 2 stocks. So hey, check it out. You don't need a lot of money to open an account. You can do it right even from your phone. And that quick, you can get, when I opened mine this past year, I got 3 different stocks. So check it out. You know, they don't pay me to do this, but hey, if I get a couple free shares, you get a couple free shares. But in full disclosure, like and subscribe. Once we get over 1,000 subs, I'm going to give out some stock to one of our viewers too. And we're going to do that a couple times a year. I am a regular guy that has traded the market for 20 years. And with 1 year, over $14 million in trade. Wow, $14 million. I know when that tax return was 53 pages that year. So did I make money that year? At one point I did, but when the market crashed, I gave it all right back. So this is honest. I'll tell you my winners, I'll tell you my losers, I'll tell you my mistakes. So I'm not a licensed broker. I got to give that disclosure. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I share some of the trades or the things that I'm looking for, and this just gives you a little. I try to make these videos a couple times a week, and these are about 12-15 minute videos. Things to look for, things to think about, and doing some of your homework. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you can give me thumbs up and comment below, I greatly appreciate it. So let's get into INTU. INTU today actually had a high of $716.86, and it closed up. INTU, and I'll give you a little backstory in case you're wondering. INTU is an American business that specializes in financial software. They're based in California, and as of 2019, it says here on Yahoo, I got 2 screens going here where I'm reading some of this information. 95% of its revenues are just within the United States. So man, that offers a really good opportunity. Maybe overseas in the future, and they beat their earnings. Now I wouldn't tell you. Look, I'm not going to tell you invest in the stock after it's up 63 points. I could tell you I have owned the stock in the past. I've also shorted it in the past. I mean, back here, you go back in October, the stock was at 571, and it actually had pulled down to 525 in that area, and already now today, typically what happens is you want to be patient. Typically what happens is you see here with the earnings, it gapped out at, yesterday it was at a close of 620. I'm going to round up 629, and it had a huge, push up because of the earnings and the future that they talked about, estimates. They crushed earning targets, and I think they even raised. So this was a stock, though, and that's one of the things I'm going to point out, because I talk about all things money here, and their outlook was raised, stock up 9%. So when you see those TurboTax over at Sam's Club, Walmart, Costco, wherever you go, I remember when TurboTax was $30, $40. I think a business was $67. But now they have the ability that you don't even have to. You can go online, you can download it, which helps them save money. They don't have to share with the retailers. They don't have to print a box. They don't have to print a CD. And they're actually getting more and more expensive. I know the last time I think I looked at it and we bought it, I was surprised. I think we paid about $140. So it's but they offer all solutions as far as if you got an LLC, if you're a landlord. I think once you start getting into, my personal opinion, once you start getting into really complicated issues, when I used to be basically a sole proprietor, I used it, and landlord, that was fine. But when you start getting into being a landlord, doing investments, having a business, that's when you really want to consult with your a local CPA. Now, many times, I remember years ago, I had a friend that was CPA, and I showed him TurboTax. And a lot of times now I'm not sure what software they're using. They might have a professional one, but they liked that they were able to do that, because when you get TurboTax also, you're able to use it for multiple people. I think last I remember, you could use it up to 5 tax returns. Once in a while, I would have someone that I knew, employees in the past, they had something very simple, easy, and they, and because what's nice about it, you enter the numbers, it does the calculations, boom, print. You can, federal file and state file. Federal file you can do for free. State file, I think they charge you a small fee. And a lot of times when you buy the federal tax TurboTax, you get the state for free where you live. Anyway, so it's a good deal. So let's look at I'm always interested in looking at the options. Intuit options today. Let's look at the 670s, how much they were up. They probably exploded because the stock, look at that. 700, and I just pulled 670 out of the air, because basically what happens is, when you want to make money in options, if the expected price move, let's say, is 5%, you're not going to make much. The option is going to pretty much be priced that way. Anything outside of that move is where you're going to make the money. So the 670s that expired today went up 755%. So going back, but even still, I tell you, even really, I mean, with the stock exploding like it did, really 630, really was a good day as far as option prices. At one time, those 670s, they closed at 1865 with the stock off about 20 points from the high today. They at one time were probably close to $40. So depending upon when you got in and when you got out, that would have been a great trade. I mean, anytime you can make 7 times your money in a day. But that's options involves risk. I got into a small position this week into Starbucks, and it didn't pan out. I got into it yesterday. It didn't work out. It actually went the opposite way. But let's look back at some historical quotes here of the company for Intuit. As you could see, back in May the 3rd, wow, May the 3rd, it was down to $411. So it has had an amazing run. Its 1-year target on Yahoo is actually at basically 630. So 692. What I see happening is we will get, now when I say, doesn't mean, again, I'm not a licensed broker, doesn't mean that it can't run higher and euphoria sets in. But typically what happens is when they break out of these gaps like this a lot of times you want to wait till it fills back in that. So, but it could go up like here, and then it could take a couple weeks to kind of fall back into that. But when it does, you got to kind of be there at the moment if you like the story. Now the market cap on Intuit is 196. Yeah, as of the close today is 196 billion. Let's look at a weekly chart and see how it's done. Let's go back. Yeah, let's go back. Wow, at the bottom, back in March 13th, sort of right when the closings were. Man, I mean, that was the time. Honestly, that'll probably never happen again. That was the time. If you had money and put it to work, that was the time to put anything. Almost anything since then has really done well. Not even the stay-at-home stocks, but really a lot of, they had written it off. So if you ever see that again, where the stock, I mean, here you had a stock at 300 and it dropped to 202, to basically 300 to 200, 100-point drop in roughly 3 weeks. I mean, that was a nice move. So since last March, from 200 to basically 700, that is tremendous. Let's go back monthly and see how far we can go back. Yeah, this stock is just, it was on I mean, here you're going back 2009 in the $20 range. So you know, these opportunities don't exist all the time, but they are a great company. They make obviously a lot of stuff, and with the complication of tax returns and stuff like that, wonder what other if they own other. I know they had talked about buying another company, but wasn't sure. Let's look at some news here, and that's the thing with WEBULL here. Yeah, and Wells Fargo today had maintained overweight on INTU, raises price target to $7.75. Now, that's only another 10% move. There's a lot of stocks that you can find to get 10%. I mean, I particularly, and I know this is a mistake. I know a lot of times I'm against stocks that when they get to be over a couple $100, that it just makes it harder to buy. But at the end of the day, you're not looking at the dollars. You're looking at the return. 10% is 10%. Whether you make 10% on a $20 stock or 10% on a $700 stock, 10%, you know, and that's what sometimes people don't understand. If you have a $20 stock and it moves $2, and then you have a $700 stock and it moves $70, a typical investor, you'll say, okay, what was the better investment? A lot of people will say, well, the stock that moves $70 and better than the stock that only moved $2. The $20 stock, at the end of the day, it's still 10%. And you try to explain that, but they look at it $70 versus. So my point is, if you put $1,000 into that $20 stock, $1,000 into that $700 stock, keep in mind at $20 you're getting more shares. But a 10% return is 10%. It doesn't matter how much the stock, if it moves, you know, 10% is 10%. So $2 is the same as $70 on a $700 stock. So I'm hoping that when people watch this, they learn and they kind of think about things. And really, it's important. And this is not one of the features I've really started doing lately, and I enjoy doing it, is the stock of the day. Stock that basically makes news that day, or something that I'm familiar with that I can talk pretty solid about and feel good talking about it. I don't talk about penny stocks on here. And I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, Pat, are you going to do talk about crypto? Yes, I will talk about crypto. But always keep in mind, whatever you decide to do, whatever you decide to invest, you do that on your own. I'm not going to tell you when to buy, when to sell, and feel confident that when you do it, that you're not gambling. You're really making a sound decision, that you're happy with that investment and doing that. And there's a lot of things I'm going to talk about on this channel, and really want to put it that when you guys come back, that you're learning from things from me. You know, a lot of people don't know what's called the Rule of 72. I'm going to do a video on that. So there's different things. I've been a business owner, owned restaurants, have traded stocks. I'm a landlord. And so I know a lot about money. But with that being said, we all make mistakes with money. So I was a franchisee back in the day of Subway. And so I hope you guys enjoy this. I appreciate your support. Again, if you can give me thumbs up. And I try to keep these ones very simple. Tell you about the stock of the day, basically tell you about the company, what news there was, what they do, look at the charts and see where we're at, my opinion, where we are going short term, where are we going long term, who knows. If you're ever nervous about investing in the stocks, and let's say, for example, you got $5,000, don't put if you only have $5,000, don't put it all in one stock. I would recommend putting 5 different stocks at $1,000 each. Do your homework. Watch videos like mine, and really know how many times I hear people invest into a company, they don't even know what they do. And that's scary. So don't do that. Thanks again. I will see you guys next week. And share this channel out for me. Help me grow. And we're gonna do a bunch of different things, and we're gonna give back some money to you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.